Hey everyone! So today, we're diving into something really exciting from Google, their brand new image model, Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. And trust me, this is a big deal. It's set to completely change how we think about creating and editing AI-generated images.
But first, let's talk about a problem. A big one. It's that frustrating gap between the amazing idea you have in your head and the picture that actually pops out of your AI tool. We've all been there, right?
You know that feeling? You spend ages crafting the perfect prompt, tweaking every single word, and what you get back is almost there. It's close, but it's just not quite what you wanted. Well, that shared frustration is exactly where this whole story starts.
One of the biggest headaches, for sure, is character consistency. You finally generate this awesome-looking character, but then you try to put them in a new scene or a different pose, and poof, it's a completely different person. The whole story you're trying to tell just falls apart.
And then there's editing. Ugh, the editing. You get an image that's like 99% perfect. All you want to do is remove one tiny little thing or maybe blur the background, but that usually means exporting it, jumping into another program, and fighting with tools that just don't seem to get what you want. And finally, there's that weird little uncanny valley thing. Sometimes the pictures look gorgeous, but they don't quite understand the real world. The physics are a little wonky or the context is all wrong. It just feels off. Well, the good news is Google has been listening. They heard all of this feedback, and their answer is a massive upgrade designed to fix these exact problems. So, meet Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. The team behind it actually has this fun internal nickname for it, Nano Banana. It's built for two key things: super high-quality images, and most importantly, giving you powerful creative control. And here's the best part. If you're a developer, you can start playing with it right now in the Gemini API and Google AI Studio. So what makes this thing so special? Well, it really comes down to four core features. Think of them as new creative superpowers that are about to be added to your toolkit. Let's break them down one by one. First up, character consistency. For a lot of creators, this is the holy grail. It means you can create a character or even an object just once and then put it in any scene, any situation you can possibly dream up, and it stays the same. It's like having your own personal actor you can cast in anything. And this is where it gets really practical. I mean, for online stores, you can show a product in dozens of different lifestyle shots. For storytellers, your main character can go on a whole visual adventure. Or for businesses, you can generate perfectly consistent logos, brand assets, even things like employee badges, all from one single design. And what's so cool is how simple it is. You don't need some complex code. You just talk to it. You can say, hey, take this same character, but now have them hiking through a dense jungle at sunrise. The model just gets it. It understands and keeps that character's identity perfectly. Okay, superpower number 2 feels a little bit like magic. It's called prompt-based editing. You can forget about layers and selection tools and all that complicated stuff. Now you can basically art direct your image just by describing the changes you want in plain English. Seriously, the things you can do are wild. Blur the background of a portrait? Done. Remove that annoying stain from a shirt? Easy. You can even change a person's pose, colorize a black and white photo, or take someone out of the picture entirely, all with just a typed command. It's incredibly fast. So think about this for a second. Multiple, complex edits that used to take a ton of time and skill, they're now just a single sentence. Your words are now literally your editing tools. It's a total game changer. Now, the third superpower is what makes this model so smart: native world knowledge. Since it's built on the Gemini Foundation, it has this deep, almost common sense understanding of how the world actually works. It's like collaborating with an artist who also happens to be a world-class researcher. And this is a really huge leap. It means the model can look at a rough sketch you drew on a napkin and actually understand the concept. It can follow complicated multi-step instructions because it understands the context. We're moving beyond just making pretty pictures to creating content that's visually intelligent. And all of this leads to our final superpower, multi-image fusion. This is the ability to take several different images and just seamlessly blend them together into a single, brand new photorealistic image. Just imagine taking an object from one photo and dropping it perfectly into a completely new scene. Or maybe taking the texture from a cool fabric and applying it to the walls of a room in another picture. This is like digital collage on steroids, letting you create completely new realities, all guided by a simple prompt.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But the big question is, how do you actually start using it? Let's get practical.
First up, the price. Google has made this incredibly accessible. We're talking just under 4 cents for every image you generate. That price point opens the door for so many developers, artists, and businesses to experiment and build really cool things without needing a massive budget.
And getting started is shockingly easy. You can go right into Google AI Studio, use a single prompt to describe an app you want, say a character builder or a photo editor, and it will whip up a working template for you. From there, you can either deploy it as an app or just grab the code. The distance between an idea and a real working application has never been shorter.
And to get this tech into as many hands as possible, Google's also teaming up with platforms like OpenRouter and Fall.ai. This is going to make the model available to literally millions of developers right where they're already building their projects.
So, when you put all these pieces together, what does it actually mean for your creative process? Well, it's a fundamental shift. It's a whole new way of working.
The old way meant juggling a bunch of different tools, constantly fighting to keep things consistent, and doing all these tedious manual edits. The new way? It's one unified workflow based entirely on your prompts. Consistency is just built in, editing is instant, and the model actually understands what you're asking it to do. It's a move from friction to flow. This kind of technology doesn't just make creating things easier, it completely changes the kinds of ideas we can even dare to try. So I guess the only question left is, when your imagination is the only thing holding you back, what are you going to create first?